Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to a reading for the week of May 8th. We're just going to jump right in here. And in your current general energies, you have this whale song card. It says resonating. You also have the Hierophant, the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So I feel that for some of you, what I will say is that the Two of Cups to me can represent you and your higher self. And so I feel you could be receiving communication from like your higher self. And this could be coming through dreams, daydreams, signs, symbols, synchronicities. You know the list of things, right, Sagittarius? And you have the Hierophant as well. The Hierophant, he is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. So, he kind of communicates with both sides. And, I kind of feel like you could be receiving communication from, the other side or from your higher self or your guides, your ancestors, whatever it may be. And you have this inspiration card as well. So that to me is saying that you need to follow your inspirations. I do believe that, I say it all the time, that we are in a time of literally following your inspiration. You have the star right there. So, I talk about this so much because it's very, very important. You have the Hierophant here. I would say, I don't really see this as a love reading necessarily, but if you do want love, I feel like there is love here. Of course, to me, love is always available to us. If we want it, we can go get it, right? But what I would say is that, I do feel this is talking about a commitment that you could be making to learning something new, like a new talent, gift, skill, or ability. We even see this kind of going this way, Six of Wands to the Three of Wands. I feel that there's something that you could be very successful at. We even see it here with the Nine of Pentacles. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it's going to be something that kind of takes you away from where you are. Those are the words that I feel like saying. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is a card of getting out into the world. You can see that he's standing at the top of the castle here, and, the castle kind of represents an accomplishment that he had, but the story of the Two of Wands is that he rushed to a finish line. He didn't enjoy the journey. He didn't enjoy the process. He just kind of rushed to accomplish something, and now he thinks he knows everything that there is to accomplish, but he has a whole world in his hands. There's a lot more that he could be accomplishing, and there's that wand behind him here that kind of stands on its own. That wand, kind of says that something from the past is complete, and now it's time to move forward to something new. And you have the Two of Cups. Again, I feel like if you are like, what do I do? What do I move towards? I feel that, number one, you could be getting signs, symbols, synchronicities, but mostly inspirations from your higher self, and I feel that this is encouraging you to move towards in those directions. It makes a lot of sense because of the astrology. Again, you can see these two people look very different, and the Two of Cups, the two people are meant to look very different. They are two totally different people, and there's a reason for that, right? They're meant to represent two different ideas. But the other thing is that I see this happening for a lot of people right now, especially with Pluto going into Aquarius, officially next year. Pluto's about to retrograde back into Capricorn, but what I would say here is that I think this will happen to a lot of people. I think people will think they're gonna go, start a business X, and they actually end up starting business Y. They go in a completely different direction because that's what they are inspired to do. So I think the shortcut here is to, if you feel inspired to make some sort of change, make the change. Be flexible. I've been saying it since the last set of eclipses, not the last eclipse we had, but last year we had that Taurus eclipse, and I was saying that I think that Taurus eclipse was marking a point where the universe was saying, you need to be very spontaneous. You need to be open to being flexible and moving in new directions. The people who are flexible are going to be successful. The people that are hung up on the way things used to be are going to have a hard time. With the Hierophant, you have the Three of Cups. Definitely a celebration coming in for you. This is a card of a reunion as well. I literally do feel that some of you could be having a family reunion, or you could be reuniting with a friend or something like that. And if you're doing that, I feel it'll just be really good for you. With the Two of Wands, you have the Empress. Yeah, you're in a very abundant position here, is what I would say. So, I feel like a lot of you are abundant, successful. You could be creating a lot more abundance as well. I also feel that, again, there could be a skill that you are developing. The Nine of Pentacles, she has these grapes behind her, and grapes in the tarot represent something that is very difficult to grow. So, the grapes represent something that requires a lot of skill. And I was saying that at the beginning of the reading. There's like something here about like a new skill or a skill that you already have that could be very profitable or could make you a lot of money, right? With the Two of Cups, you have the Knight of Pentacles. If it is love, I feel like it's very slow moving. Somebody's moving very slowly here. But for the most part, I do feel like you are kind of like working on your finances. I even see some of you have been like working on new things in your business if you have a business or like a side hustle or something. But it's been like a little bit slow. I feel this is saying like, don't stop. And I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your last reading, but I get the same feeling here. I feel like this is saying you need to keep going because you're very, very close. Like, don't give up now. Next, in the area of what you need to know right now, you have the Owl. The Owl, of course, is a card of knowledge and wisdom. I think that the easiest solution right now is knowledge and wisdom. It's pretty much the only thing that we can do. I would say that, I've said to other people always say to me that they're worried about AI, so that, they think if they learn a new skill that it isn't going to matter because the robots are going to take over. I'm like, yeah, but there's one thing robots can't do. They can't have experiences, right? So I always tell people, take your knowledge, take your wisdom, and have an experience with it, as in go put it into practice and learn something that a robot can't, right? If you want to be super valuable over the next 20 years, you're going to have to learn things and then do them, whatever they are, and gain the experience, right? But we're talking about a physical experience. So the people that do that are going to be successful. That's what I would do here. You have the Page of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're very attractive at this time, of course. Sagittarius. I mean, it's a known fact. Even, NASA has proven that people who watch Minnow are more attractive and smarter than the average person, right? So, again, I don't come up with this stuff. This is NASA scientists came up with this. So, there you go. But I feel like you're very attractive at this time. So get out there if you're looking for love. I also feel that you are feeling guided. Again, she has this sunflower right here. The sunflowers point towards the sun. So there are things that get you excited. There are things that you kind of are inspired to do. And you have that joyful muse card that says inspiration on it. So anything you can do to move towards your inspirations is going to lead to a victory right here. Six of Wands. Six of Wands, a card of success, victory, good things coming in for you. So I do feel like there's a major success or successes. I also feel like there are a lot of achievements coming in for you. So, if you're hoping to achieve things in like work or business, I definitely see a lot of achievements with that Six of Wands energy. You have the Page of Cups here. Page of Cups is like a new opportunity. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be like some sort of big new opportunity that is becoming available to you. I also feel like you could be grabbing onto that fish. I always say that fish that in the Page of Cups' cup is something that might be part of his imagination. It might not exist. We don't know. People always say, why do you say might? Because we don't actually know if that is a real fish or a fake fish that is in his imagination. So I feel for some of you, it's like there could be a part of your imagination. We see it right here with the star card that could lead to a victory, but it's like getting there might be a little bit confusing. It's like knowing the steps to take is what's missing here, is what I would say. So it's like the dream is there. So it's like you might be dreaming of your ideal business or your ideal life, whatever the case may be. And it's like the dream exists, but the steps don't. How do we get there? Let's see. With the Page of Cups, Seven of Wands is not really a good answer because Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. With the Seven of Wands, it says when you know that you're going to be successful, you will be successful. So it's basically a card of belief. It's a card of believing something so deeply that you become successful. So, I feel like belief is, of course, important with the Seven of Wands. With the Six of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. We already talked about this. Studying, right? Page of Swords is a card of being a detective. It says don't just like learn about something just to learn about it. It's like put it into practice. Actually do it, and then you'll be successful. And that's what I feel like you need to do here with the Page of Swords. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. So don't be afraid to learn from mentors. And I've just noticed kind of like sometimes I notice certain like weird collective energies. And, one thing that I have noticed in a lot of the readings is like mentors keep coming up. You even have the Two of Cups. I was saying like you and your higher self. And so I feel like it is a time where if we don't know what to do, there could be people that we look up to who do know what we should be doing. So I really feel we need to kind of like tap into the resource of other people, the resource of people who know more than we do. And that's how we're going to be very successful. So, if you have any mentors that you look up to, you could learn from these people on YouTube for free. You could learn from, people in real life that you look up to. I think that would be a great idea. You have this joyful muse and it says inspiration on it. I kind of have two different messages popping into my head here. Number one, I feel like some of you actually literally could be attracting a muse into your life. Like traditionally, a muse was love, right? Like a person would fall in love with a person and they would use that person as their muse to create like a great work or something. But for some of you, I feel like it's something else. It's like when I was 16, my dream car was an Audi R8, right? It's still my dream car. And, it's like for the longest time, that was like a muse for me. I worked my ass off because of that car, right? And I would say here that, it's like sometimes I think that there can just be something that we fall in love with. I'm not even a car person. I don't even care about cars, right? But I loved that car. And, so I feel for a lot of you, it's like there could just be something like an object or something that you want to own that really motivates you. Could be a house or something like that. Could be a person. For others, and for all of you, actually, I feel like you need to follow your inspiration. I feel like you could be feeling inspired to accomplish something, or, I feel like you need to be led by your inspirations as well. You have the Justice card, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion. So I do feel like you are expanding beyond, a point here. The Three of Wands is a card of like kind of getting out into the universe or getting out into the world. Sometimes I feel he needs to get onto these boats and he needs to go on to an adventure. So you have the Two of Wands, you have this card. It's kind of leading me to believe that you need to kind of, go on a new adventure in your life. Same thing with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords can represent a sacrifice, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, of course, we were talking about how this could be like some sort of skill that you are developing. And I feel like that's going to be very important for you with the Nine of Pentacles, like especially if you're developing a skill that requires a lot of skill to use or to have. Definitely a good card. It is also pre-Empress energy, and you do have the Empress here, so I kind of do feel like a little bit of a glow-up kind of going on here, going this way, because you have the Star. The only thing that would make this more of a glow-up reading would be the Sun. You have the Justice card here. I do feel like some of you could be receiving justice, literally. I do have something here, like we have the Mercury retrograde in Gemini, the Mars retrograde in Gemini. And I feel like for a lot of you, that Mars retrograde, obviously your opposite sign, could have brought up a lot of like conflicts or issues with people in your life. And I have something here about like work. So if you had a work issue with a person, that could be getting cleared up. Or if you've been dealing with a like harassment at work or something, you could be getting justice this week as well. So let's see where that's going. With the Justice card, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, I would put more energy into developing a skill, at this time, in experiencing that skill, because again, I feel like that's what's going to be the most profitable for you, especially for those of you who are looking for like business or career or something to do, right, to make money. It's like having the knowledge, but also having the wisdom. Wisdom is taking the knowledge and putting it into practice. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands, another card of inspiration. Again, the best thing you can do right now is follow your inspirations. I always tell people, it's like the problem with following your inspirations is you might set out to, start a business, or you might be saying, oh, universe, I want love in my life. And the universe might inspire you to go watch a movie. And you might be saying, what does that have to do with love? But you never know, right? It could contain some sort of answer for you, the movie. It could contain a lesson or something you need to learn. So the problem with us humans is we usually judge our inspirations because, we're taught we have to work hard. So it's like if it's a business and your inspiration is to go watch a movie, you might be saying to yourself, no, I have to work hard, not watch a movie. But the movie might lead to 10 times more work than you thought. So, follow your inspirations. With the Three of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. I feel like you need to get out of this here. Some of you could have experienced a heartbreak in the past. And if you are looking for love, I feel like you need to let go of, heartbreaks that you've experienced in the past, or you need to let go of your old story. I don't know what it is, but it seems to me like people could really be stuck telling their old story right now. And, I just see a lot of people could be just a little bit stuck in the kind of like in their old story, right? And so I feel like it's really important that you kind of like get out of your old story, that you start telling a new story about your life. And what I mean is, it's like whenever I just think of readings that I've done over the years, right, where people will ask me about an ex, and they'll have moved on. It'll be like 6 months later, but they're still telling themselves the same story. They still talk about how horrible it is and everything like that. That is telling the same old story. Same thing if you lost like a job or something like that. I feel like it's time to like change your story. Next, you have this static card. This is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle, and these are kind of like holographic animated cards like this. They're awesome. Full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but they are launching 3 new decks, and there's a link to that down below. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But I feel for a lot of you that the static is the steps, is what's popping into my head, as in maybe you're not exactly clear on the steps you need to take to get to a new part of your life, or to get to a new section of your life, right? You're like trying to level up is how I see this, but there's like a little bit of an obstacle. We're gonna have to see what that is. You have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Star. I kind of feel like this is the obstacle. The Ace of Swords can represent a sacrifice. There's a palm frond here, an olive branch here. Palm fronds in the tarot can represent a sacrifice. That's not the only thing that they represent, but they can represent that. And so I kind of feel like what could be holding some of you back is like making the sacrifice or cutting something out of your life. Could be anything. The other thing is that on the Ace of Swords, the sword is always above the mountains here. And the mountains in the tarot represent achievements, but that sword is above the mountains. So, it kind of says that you can achieve anything, but, in life, we will always have obstacles. There will always be something to overcome, right? And so that could be holding you back, is that. I also feel like there's something about balance here. I'll show you over here again, but there are these 6 golden yods on the Ace of Swords right here, and they are in perfect balance. So the Ace of Swords can represent balance, and I feel like some of you, it's like maybe you need to balance things out, like work hard, play hard, maybe you need to balance your health out, could be pretty much anything. You have the Queen of Cups. This is probably the other thing that you need to balance out, is following your heart. Again, we have Uranus and Taurus, and we also have Pluto and Aquarius. Both, to me, intuitively, kind of represent following your heart and what your heart is telling you to do. But it's like our heart can tell us something that doesn't fit in with society. But again, I keep encouraging people to, break free from society's restrictions, because Pluto and Aquarius, it's like, I don't know how much more proof people need. It's like the banks are collapsing. That's like traditional society. We're going to see a million more things collapse over the next 10 years. But it's like, you don't have to wait. You can take advantage of, unconventional ideas in your life right now. This could be starting a business that's unconventional. Could be getting a job that's unconventional. Any of these things that you want to do, it's like you could be doing it. Again, sometimes I look at society sometimes as just, the collective energy. It's like where we're going, and usually it provides us clues, but we have to interpret those clues. So again, like I said, Pluto leaving Capricorn, going into Aquarius is the breakdown of structure and also becoming efficient. So what should we do in our own personal lives? We should probably create new structures and become more efficient, right? You have the Star. The Star is about being guided towards something sometimes. I kind of feel like you are guided towards something, but I also feel like you're kind of glowing up here a little bit, Sagittarius. I wouldn't say this is like a major glow up, but I do feel you're starting to get into a really good energy. I also feel like you feel that the universe is listening to you. She's pouring this water here into the pool of universal consciousness, and there are those ripples that are going out on the water. And I just feel, I kind of feel that, like you feel like the universe has listened, or, maybe there's a little bit of confirmation from the universe this week, so that's nice. With the Queen of Cups, you have the High Priestess. Definitely time to listen to your heart and your intuition. Both cards, Queen of Cups and the High Priestess, are extremely intuitive. So I feel you really need to follow what your intuition is telling you. You also have divine counterparts here. Hierophant and the High Priestess are divine counterparts. So I wouldn't really call it a love reading, but if you want love, definitely could be a person coming in for you. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely a change in your fortunes. I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you at this time. We see that throughout the whole reading. But also, if you're taking control of your destiny, the Wheel of Fortune is always spinning. It spins in whatever direction. Most people don't control their wheel. We actually want to be at the center of the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune, because it's like good things and bad things will always happen in life, but it's how we respond to them that allows us to take control of our destiny with the Wheel of Fortune. So, I would make sure to do that. there are a million things we can do with the Wheel of Fortune. We can educate ourselves. It's kind of like giving me a little bit temperance vibes as well. It's like, again, the Wheel of Fortune has a lot to do with your vibration. So it's like, again, good things and bad things happen to everyone, but how you respond to those things is what determines the outcome. And the Wheel of Fortune says respond positively, right? With the star, you have the Four Cups. I love this Four Cups. This is from the White Sage Tarot, and you can see that there are 3 cups pouring into 1 cup. So I feel for a lot of you, this could be, like a person who really pours into you in love and is very fulfilling. If not, I feel like you're fulfilling yourself at this time. We're going to pull 5 main themes now here, Sagittarius, and we are going to see what is coming up for you. You have this tortoise that says slowly but surely getting ahead. Yeah, I mean, slow progress. I do feel that we are in a time of a little bit of slow progress, but we are making progress. So I would keep pushing forward, of course. You have this wedge. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. I would be careful of people right now. Again, I kind of felt that Mars retrograde energy popping up in this reading, even though Mars is not in Gemini anymore. It's like I still kind of feel that energy here. So it just something I would think about. If you have a person who you feel like is stirring the pot, I would avoid that person. You have this June card and this happiness card. Love it. So I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you just right around the corner. The month of June, it'll be here before you know it. So I feel like things are going to be getting better and better as we get to the month of June. You have this Tower card. This is not like the Tower in the Tarot. This says solid foundation, success with effort, Ace of Swords. I was getting that about the mountains on the Ace of Swords, really kind of like standing in the way. So, I feel like there is success, but with effort, of course. Next, you have this Fire card. It says strong emotion, passionate love, or hate. Again, I think that the Wheel of Fortune is saying you have a choice how your emotions, kind of guide you at this time. So yes, you might have to kind of like work on transmuting your emotions and turning them from, negative to positive or whatever. You can go positive to negative as well if you want, but, I would try to keep it positive. But this looks pretty good here, Sag. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.